Welcome to Pharmoon Drops. Previous competitive exam questions with answers and a brief description constitute Pharmoon Drops. First question of the session. Polyene antibiotics primarily act by creating microspores in fungal cell membrane. Polyene antibiotics primarily act by creating microspores in fungal cell membrane. Polyene antibiotics binds with the ergosterol present in the fungal cell membrane. Polyene antibiotics binds with the ergosterol present in the cell membrane of fungus. Thus, they causes formation of aqueous microspores in the cell membrane. Thus, polyene antibiotics produce aqueous microspores in the cell membrane. This leads to the leaking of cellular content. Examples for polyene antibiotics are amphotericin B, nystatin, hamycin, natamycin, etc. Natamycin is otherwise known as pimarisine. Examples for polyene antibiotics are amphotericin B, nystatin, hamycin, natamycin, etc. Natamycin is otherwise known as pimarisine. Amphotericin B, fungistatic at lower concentration and fungicidal at higher concentration. Amphotericin B is fungistatic at lower concentration and fungicidal at higher concentration. Amphotericin B is administered orally, topically, and as intravenous infusion. Amphotericin B is administered orally, topically, and as intravenous infusion. Penicillin G is the first-line treatment measure against syphilis. Penicillin G is the first-line drug used to treat syphilis. It is administered parenterally. Central Register of Pharmacists is maintained by Pharmacy Council of India, PCI. Central Register of Pharmacists is maintained by Pharmacy Council of India, in short PCI. The enzyme used by HIV to form DNA in the host cell is reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase enzyme is responsible for the synthesis of DNA in human immunovirus, that is HIV. Retrovirus is a group of viruses that belong to the family Retroviridae. Retrovirus is a group of viruses that belong to the family Retroviridae. Retroviridae family carry ribonucleic acid, that is RNA, as the genetic material. The genetic material present in Retroviridae family is RNA. An enzyme, reverse transcriptase, convert RNA into DNA. An enzyme, reverse transcriptase, convert RNA into DNA. This process is known as reverse transcription. This process is known as reverse transcription. Examples for retroviruses are HIV and human T-cell lymphotropic virus 1. Human T-cell lymphotropic virus 1, that is HTLV1, and human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV1, are the examples for retrovirus. HIV causes AIDS. HIV causes AIDS. HIV virus are of two types. HIV virus are of two types. HIV-1 and HIV-2. HIV-1 and HIV-2 belong to a subgroup of retrovirus called lentivirus. HIV-1 and HIV-2 belong to a subgroup of retrovirus called lentivirus, that is Lentivirus. Lentivirus, lentivirus. BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards. Then ISO, that is International Organization for Standardization. And ASTM, that is American Society for Testing and Materials, are organizations which put forward various standards. BIS, ISO and ASTM are the organizations which put forward different standards. The headquarters of ISO is Geneva, Switzerland. The headquarters of International Organization for Standards is at Geneva in Switzerland. The biological source of hemp is the pericyclic fiber obtained from cannabis sativa of the family Cannabinaceae. The biological source of hemp is the pericyclic fiber obtained from cannabis sativa belonging to the family Cannabinaceae. ISO 14000 is concerned with environmental safety. ISO 14000 is concerned with environmental safety. The objectives of Drug and Magic Remedies Act are: first one, to control some of the drug-related advertisements which can mislead the public. And the second one is to prohibit certain kind of advertisement related to magic remedies which make false claims. The Objectives of Drugs and Magic Remedies Act 1954 are: first one, to control drug-related advertisements. Number two, to prohibit advertisements related to magic remedies. Magic remedies include talisman, mantras, kavachas, and charms which claim to possess miraculous powers in the treatment of diseases. Magic remedies include talismans, mantras, kavachas, and charms which claim to possess miraculous powers against diseases. According to Drugs and Magic Remedies Act 1954, the definition of drug includes the following. According to Drugs and Magic Remedies Act 1954, the definition of drugs includes the following: substances or medicines used for the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, and prevention of diseases in human beings or animals. Substances used for the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, and prevention of diseases in human beings or animals. Then, any articles other than food intended to affect the body of human beings. Any articles other than food intended to affect the body of human beings. And finally, any articles intended for use as a component of any medicine. Finally, any articles intended for use as a component of any medicine. According to Drug and Magic Remedies Act, advertisements related to cure of diseases specified in Schedule J are prohibited. According to Drugs and Magic Remedies Act, advertisements which claim to cure Schedule J diseases are prohibited. Schedule J is the list of diseases which cannot be cured. Schedule J is the list of diseases which cannot be cured. Schedule J comes under the Drugs and Cosmetics Rules 1945. Schedule J comes under the Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. Drugs and Cosmetic Act was passed in 1940 and the rules came in 1945. Drugs and Cosmetics Act was passed in 1940 and the rules came into force in 1945. Drugs and Magic Remedies Act was passed in 1954. Drugs and Magic Remedies Act was passed in 1954. In 1954, another thing happened. For his magical contribution, that is Raman effect, C.V. Raman received Bharata Ratna. Two things happened in 1954. First one is C.V. Raman got Bharata Ratna for his magical contribution. And in the same year, Drugs and Magic Remedies Act was passed. Thank you for listening to Pharmoon Drops